Alright guys, now welcome back at Untitled PSUs. Today we have a new video about delidding, and we're basically gonna show you how to do it using the vice method, what benefits you can get out of it, and the temperature delta which we are gonna be getting on this particular configuration. Now this one is a build which has a Titan X, 12GB of RAM, and it has an i7 4790K coupled with 16GB of RAM. Now this guy has a 360mm custom loop, so it's pretty high-end. So you might be wondering, hey, Temps must be pretty good anyway, right? Right? Not really. So hey, let's go and take a look at the Temps. Alright guys, now I am running Intel Barntest, and as you can see, within seconds we are at 100 degrees and we are thermal throttling. This is at stock and with the stock V-core. Let's get into the loading. Alright, here we are. Now to do our deletes, I simply use a vice. Now I'm gonna just remove the CPU from here, so I gotta turn off the system. And then I have to, remove the CPU from the socket, and quite simply, using a vice, we're gonna delete it. So now here we go, turn the system off. Now I'm gonna just remove this water block, and well guys, see you in a sec when I will have removed the water block. Alright, now here we are. I can just pull it off. I've already cleaned it, so you can just open this guy here and pull out the CPU. Now I know a lot of people get triggered when I take my CPU and touch it on the backside, so there you go, you can get triggered. And anyway, this is our i7 4790K, here it is, and now we're just gonna slot it over there and delete it. Alright, now I changed my angle mostly because it's nighttime and I want you to actually see something. So again, here we have our CPU, now we're just gonna slot it over here and delete it. Now I just align this part, which is the flat part, and the other flat part with the vice. So I just put it over here, then I just close it up. And this is the position we want, and the lid is done. Pretty flawless. This is our CPU. Now for those of you who actually haven't seen it properly because it was super fast, well, what we actually did was align this part with the vice, and then on the other side we aligned the metal part with the vice. So the vice just slices off the two parts like this. And now we can just clean it off and put some liquid metal on here. Now one quick thing to notice is that look at the thermal paste. It was completely dried off. It's no surprise that this CPU was throttling. And also there's a ton of thermal glue. But anyway, let's get into cleaning it. Alright, now here we are with the actual CPU. Now let me show you what I use to clean it. I just use some alcohol wipes. You can just use, a tissue and put some alcohol over it. Now I just open it up, grab our CPU, and I just clean the thermal paste off. Real quick, it comes off pretty easily. Then I do the same on the IHS. Pretty clean. And now we want to remove the thermal glue from both the IHS and the CPU. Now to do that, we can use different tools. Right now, I actually don't have anything on hands, so I'm going to use this thing, which is not the best because you can actually break the CPU with this, but it's the only thing I have on hands right now. So, we just use it to scrape it off. And now I will do it off camera, but the procedure is pretty much this. So, you just gently scrape it off without touching the die. And it comes out pretty nice. Okay, I ended up just using an M.2 SSD since I had it on hands. And of course, it's still pretty difficult to actually get a nice angle to do it on camera, but I'm gonna try. As you can see, it's coming out pretty well, but I really have to be on the table to do it properly. And this is it, boys. It came out pretty nice, if you ask me. Time to go on this guy. We really don't need the M.2 on this guy. We can just use the other one. Yeah, the M.2 is kind of wasted. I guess I'm just gonna use a back plate this time to clean it off. And again, here we go. Now you don't have to be like super precise with all those things on the bottom here, because really like it doesn't matter. At the end you just want it to make proper contact here on the sides and here on the bottom, on the center. So alright, here we are. Once I've finished cleaning them, I generally just take another one of those alcohol wipes and just, you know, wipe it off, so that, let's say there was a little bit left, it's gonna go away since the alcohol is pretty good. And same here. And you also want to properly clean off the backside, since, you know, some of it might have gone here, and if the pins don't make proper contact, it's not gonna work. Alright, then after you've done that, we have our CPU deleted. Now we can just take some liquid metal and just put it over it. Now with liquid metal, you want to be extra gentle, because I tend to spray it all over, and I've done it multiple times. So you want to slowly increase the pressure, and when I say slowly, I mean it. So now let me try, and I hope that this one is... by the way, I generally put some nail polish here. This time I didn't, because I don't have it on hands at the moment and really want to make this video, but you really want to cover the SMTs with some nail polish. Now let me try and actually spray this liquid metal here properly. You want to gently increase the pressure. And yeah, it might take a while, but you want to be precise. And here we go, just a little bit came off. Now I don't know if this is gonna be enough, but I'm gonna, you know, put this one all over the place in the meantime. So here we go. It's not a good idea to do it not on the table, but I gotta show it to you. So pardon me. All right. You don't want it to go over the die, but I mean, if you go on the PCB, it's no big deal. The only important thing is that you don't actually go over the SMTs, because that could damage it. So you want to be extra careful about that. And yeah, it was right about enough. Be sure to cover up all the angles. If you don't, you might end up breaking your CPU, because the liquid metal does not spread itself like thermal paste. You know, I often joke about thermal paste applications, but liquid metal, you wanna kind of be like actually do it properly, you know. I really cannot. Alright, now this is enough. And now you also want to do it on the IHS. Now you also might want to replace your IHS with a copper one, but this copper IHS is not for this CPU, it's for my i9 9900KF, and it's another video, so you know, you might want to check that one out. But alright, we just take the IHS and we spray it around the middle. So now a nice way to see where it goes is to just do like this, and we can see that it is about here. Now I went a little bit overboard with my application on the IHS here, but that's because if you look at it, the die is not really in the center, and I wanted to be sure to actually get it. Now, this is how I do it, alright? I am against resealing, so what I do is I just slot the IHS in place here, like this. All right, and then I just put it in the socket and close it up. Mostly because if you reseal it and you get the temps wrong, you will have to delete it again. It's very annoying, but like this you can just slot it over. So alright guys, let's go over with the motherboard and let's actually slot it in. Alright guys, now I pretty much have no light, but you know, it's night and I can't really do much about it. So here is our CPU. Now I'm just gonna slot it over. Again, not the best way to slot it over since there is a lot of stuff here, but you know, it's no big deal. Alright, so here we are. Now a little pro tip is that with the socket you want the IHS to be a little bit higher, you know, because the socket will drag it down a little bit. So now we just close the socket. Alright, and we slot it in place. That's good. Now we're just gonna apply some thermal paste, or maybe I just wanna try it out without, just to see how it goes. Yeah, that's it boys. So I'm just gonna close this guy up, put on the screws and test it. Alright, now here we are, boot test. We are without thermal paste right now, so I expect it to work, but to throttle down in a few seconds. So here we are. It's working, which is good. Now I'm testing it without, mostly because I want to see the temps, because I'm always like interested in what happens when you are under the worst conditions. But you actually should test it without thermal paste, because let's say the liquid metal touches as SMTs, you don't have to clean off the thermal paste afterwards and you can just quickly check. And even though it throttles, we can also test the spread between cores, so we can see if our liquid metal application is good. Now just from the idle temps I can tell my application is great because we have very little spreading, but hey, if we start Intel Barntest, it's gonna throttle real quick, I expect. Yeah, we really have little spreading. Now it's throttling. Let me just stop it. So yeah, the application is great, and now we're gonna apply thermal paste. Alright guys, now it's actually the next day because, you know, at least now you can see something. So I figured it will be better, you know. And well, we're gonna use our handy GD900 here to repaste it. So now I gotta actually manually keep the camera, so sorry if the angles are a little bit worse, but at least you can see what I'm doing, kinda. So alright, now here we go. I like to spread it. Now I know a lot of people don't like it, but it works quite well. And again, the overclocking results kind of speaks for themselves, you know, so you don't get all the people saying, hey, it doesn't work. I'm literally showing you that it's overclocking super high. So all right, now this is an actual like good application of with the spreading method. A couple of times I like overdid it on purpose to show that, you know, there's no real change, but this is how you actually should do it while spreading it. Now we can just slap the water block on top of it. Here we go. And then we take those handy things, and well, I'm basically just gonna close it up. Okay, now we repasted it and closed it up. Now let me show you the actual results here. So as you can see, we are at 4.4 gigahertz on all cores, which is, you know, the enhancement. We are at around 1.25 volts, and we are idling at around 40 degrees. Now let me just start up Intel Barntest, which is super heavy, especially for those older CPUs, and this really gets the maximum temperature out. Now, as you can see, we are immediately at around 75 degrees, but that is actually quite good, you know, since those Haswell CPUs really run hot, especially at 4.4. And I mean, this also gives us around 15C of margin. But now the point is that here where I am right now, the ambient temperature is nearly 40 degrees. So with aircon, we can hover at around 55 degrees, guys.